What do you guys think, huh? It's starting to look a little better, right? I'm slowly improving every episode, you guys. I'm gonna give you a really nice background for the videos, but shout out to Marijan from my Discord server for letting me know about these tubes. They are so much better than the stupid TechSource tube that I got from BH Photo. I sent that back, by the way. These things cost like half the price of the TechSource RGB tube. And get this. Check this out, guys. Have you noticed anything different? It's wireless, so I can literally put these anywhere I want. How freaking cool is that? Okay, I don't want to break these, so it's just... So yeah, what's happening, guys? I'm TechSource. Welcome to Setup Wars episode 282. I missed your beautiful faces. If you guys want to be a part of the show, make sure to watch the video link down below. But with that said, ladies and gentlemen, sit back and relax because you know what time it is. It's time for Setup Wars, by the way. Yeah. All right, just cue the intro. So normally, when I wake up from bed, I spend about 30 minutes scrolling aimlessly through my social media accounts, trying to find interesting or informative content to start my day. And for the most part, it's a complete waste of time. And to my surprise, a company called Morning Brew reached out a few weeks ago to sponsor today's video, and since then, I've been using them to start my mornings every day. They are a free daily newsletter that runs from Monday through Sunday, and I love the fact that I can get up to speed on business news in just 5 minutes. You can get a glimpse of how the market is doing and read up on any trending news. In fact, that's how I found my new favorite TV show, Squid Game. I read it on Morning Brew one day, and ever since then, I've been addicted to the show. You guys should definitely watch that on Netflix. It's an amazing show, by the way. To put it simply, there's no reason not to subscribe to Morning Brew if you're interested in business, finance, or tech. And the best part is, it takes less than 15 seconds to subscribe. So just give them a try, you guys. Click my link below to subscribe to Morning Brew today. You literally got nothing to lose. It's completely free. Kicking off the episode is Mason and his super clean triple monitor floating setup. I'm already in love with the all black look he's going for. So he's a student from Utah who also does logo designing as a side hustle to be able to pay for this setup. In fact, everything here costs less than $2,000, and it took him a total of 3 years to save up and build it. We have a TIE Fighter monitor layout with a 29. We have a TIE Fighter monitor layout with a 29-inch ultrawide in the middle and dual 24-inch in vertical mode. Everything is mounted against a piece of wood that's attached to the wall, while the boom arm is hooked up to the actual monitor mount. Now, even though you get this clean floating look, the microphone will unfortunately block off one of the monitors when in use. This is the one time I would recommend clamping it to the actual desk to avoid this. It's not going to look cleaner than what you have now, but from a practicality standpoint, it makes the most sense. The rest of the setup contributes nicely to the black and minimal theme. There aren't any speakers nor headphones for the setup for some reason. Instead, he relies on the speakers from the monitors for audio. And then we have the RK61 in black with a Razer Basilisk mouse for the peripherals. I would definitely save up for some nice headphones or speakers for the setup. You can only do so much with the audio from the monitors. You don't even have to spend that much money. You can grab a pair of Sony ZX headphones for like 10 bucks. The games he currently plays on the setup are Minecraft, Fortnite, and Splitgate, and he does all that on his budget gaming PC featuring an i7-4770 and a GTX 1050 Ti. I'm really impressed with the cable management, the way he routed the monitor cables across the wall, and how clean he kept all the wires underneath the desk. The setup is a really nice starting point, but it does lack a little bit of personality. I would love to see more of what you have done in the other parts of the room, kind of transitioning over to some parts of your setup. Like, it doesn't have to be something crazy, but enough to separate your setup from the rest and make it unique. Thank you, Mason, for entering. Up next is Michael, who also goes by the name of Flex from my Discord server. It's awesome to finally see your setup on the show, my guy. So Michael is a technical support engineer from Austria who works from home, so he wanted to build a setup where he can do that comfortably and also game on his spare time. We got a Carbly and Alex unit combo and a dual stacked monitor layout. So this type of monitor layout actually opens up many possibilities for symmetry and desk space. For a second, do you guys think Flex's setup would look this clean and organized if you put them side by side? Heck no. I also love the fact that you can easily hide the keyboard cable underneath the main monitor instead of having to drill a hole through the desk. The setup doesn't have any speakers, but he does own a pair of Razer Krakens that he keeps on a stand, and then we got the Apple AirPods for wireless listening. There are a few fake plants for some decoration and both his consoles on the right side, which is what he uses to game on since the setup is powered by a Dell laptop. Aesthetically, I think the setup looks great, but it feels overshadowed by the black acoustic panels. I can't help but feel like it's taking away the spotlight from everything else around it. Maybe you can spice it up a little bit so it's not as obtrusive. Those Gobi glide bars are pretty cool, and I've seen a lot of people use those to highlight stuff in the setup. Maybe you can use it in a way where it complements the acoustic panels. Of course, that is just one very simple recommendation of spicing up the setup a little bit. Everything else though looks awesome. I mean, you kept the setup neat and tidy with great cable management. I don't have anything else to say other than I'm very impressed with the setup's evolution after you joined the Discord server. Well done. It was nice to have you on the show, Michael. Thank you for coming on, my guy. Coming in number 3 is Niko from Connecticut, who's just 13 years old and is already investing. That is impressive. It took him a total of 6.5 years to build this setup for the purpose of gaming, investing, and schoolwork. This means that he had to start on this setup when he was like 6 years old. What? If that's true, then you have a very promising future and setup journey ahead of you, my guy. Both setups are built on a couple of IKEA tabletops with some Alex drawers and shelves underneath for support. And it looks like the main PC setup is on the left, while the secondary setup is laptop powered. We got another TIE Fighter layout with triple 27-inch LG monitors mounted against the desk. And below that, we got the Razer Huntsman Tournament Edition keyboard with a Logitech G502 mouse and a few other pieces of gear like a smartphone charger and the Elgato Stream Deck Mini. Judging by the Nikon camera and ring light up top, it seems like Niko also does streaming as well. A man of many talents. For audio, the setup only uses the Corsair HS60s, but the setup also syncs together with the Google Home speaker so that he can not only control the lights of the setup, but also turn on his PC.
Hey Google, turn on the PC.
All right, turning on the PC.
Pretty freaking cool. That tiny device that turned on his PC is called the SwitchBot, and it's a product I featured in September's Cool Tech video. If you guys want to check it out, I'll drop a link to it down below. It's actually pretty cool. It's pretty obvious that most of the attention was spent on setting up the gear and not enough effort was put towards the cable management. You know, the cable routing underneath the desk looks rushed, and leaving the cable box out in the front like that opens the doors to more cable clutter. I think it would have looked cleaner going with white raceways instead of a black cable sleeve and tucking away the cable box behind the setup. The potential is definitely here. He's got the gear, he's got the foundation, it just slightly missed the execution. But either way, it's a hell of a setup for a 13-year-old. Thank you, Niko, for sharing this with us. So we got a little bit of a Star Wars theme going on here for the next setup. It took a little over 2 years to complete for the purpose of gaming and mining, apparently. I'm not sure if he uses the setup for mining or if he has a separate mining rig, but it's definitely an interesting occupation to see on Setup Wars. The setup is built on a custom-made desk with a custom headboard as well, with a few Alex units. I personally like the lighter shade of wood as it complements the white a lot better, and plus it matches the picture frames up top, so good choice on that. The cables from the 34-inch ultra-wide look like they were routed through the wall, but he actually used one of the speakers to hide them cleverly. That's a really nice tip that you guys can also use for your setup. Try and find a natural way of hiding the cables using the gear from your setup. The cables from the peripherals, however, were ran through the desk and through the backboard. He did such a good job with the cable work, the keyboard and RGB mousepad practically look wireless. Aside from the speakers, he also rocks the Razer Naris for gaming that he keeps underneath the desk, which, by the way, it looks like Sam has everything under control here. There is a nice balance of functionality and personality. Even though we have seen a zillion Star Wars themed setups in the show, this one is still unique and belongs to only Sam. Finishing up with a custom PC inside the LandCool 2 case, we got an i5 9400F paired with an MSI RTX 3070. I don't know why you went with black and white cable combs when you stuck to an RGB color scheme, but it's still a nice looking system. Personally, I think the Lee & Lee streamers would look amazing in here if you're more interested in the RGB color scheme. But nonetheless, a very awesome and nicely executed Star Wars themed setup. Thank you, Sam, for sharing this with us. Finishing up strong is Subham's very creative multi-purpose setup. Take a look at this unique approach to a dual stacked monitor layout, guys. I gotta say, it's nice to see something new and refreshing on the show. I do like how the wall shelf up top separates both of the monitors and it matches the theme of the setup quite nicely. But from this angle, it kind of looks like it might be blocking off a portion of the top monitor. Maybe it's just the angle of the pictures. Subham is a designer and content creator from Nepal, and it took him a year to get the setup to this point for the purpose of editing, gaming, and watching movies and TV shows. So the monitor layout is very cool, and I want to break it down real quick, okay? To start off, his main display is a 27-inch 4K IPS monitor on the bottom that's mounted against the wall. And the top overhead display is actually embedded inside the wall, and the way he did that was very clever. He mounted it against the wall, but added another frame on top of it, so it gives the illusion that it's a picture frame. So everything you see that's mounted against the wall is actually mounted to a second layer. Pretty freaking cool. He has an entire YouTube video on how he built this setup. I encourage you guys to check it out because it is actually insane. The rest of the setup is built on a custom desk with nice gray tones and a splash of green from the plants, giving these warm and cozy vibes. I absolutely love the presentation of this setup. It's very easy on the eyes. For peripherals, he does own 3 sets of keyboards, but he mains the Keychron K2 with the G903 wireless mouse because of the hyper scroll wheel feature. But he does switch over to his Xbox controller when he games sometimes. Now for audio, he does have 2 Edifier speakers mounted against the frame for watching content, but he does swap over to his Sennheiser HD 598 and the Blue Yeti mic for gaming. Sadly, I don't have any pics of the cable management, unfortunately, but going off the video, it seems like all the cables are channeled through the raceways behind the frame for a truly wireless setup. Finishing up with the custom PC that's powering it all, we got a Ryzen 7 3700X paired with an EVGA RTX 2080 Super. I love the consistency in the color scheme, the amazing attention to detail in the cable management, and it's got the perfect blend of personality and functionality. This right here is a flawlessly executed setup. Amazing work on that custom frame for your setup, my guy. I can tell you put in a lot of work and dedication in this setup, okay? This is one of the cleanest and most refreshing setups I have seen in a while on Setup Wars, and for that reason, I'm awarding you the 45th seal of approval. If you're watching this video, toss an email to setupwarsprizes@gmail.com to claim your one-of-a-kind plaque, my guy. As a reminder, you guys can always pick up a cheap Windows CD key for less than $15. Just click on my link below and use the code TS20 for an extra 20% off. Once you get your CD key, just visit the activation settings in Windows and change your product key. It's that simple. And that will do for today's video. As always, make sure you guys comment below. Let me know which of these setups was your absolute favorite. And if you guys are enjoying Setup Wars so far, do consider tossing a like before you head out. And if you guys are new here, consider subscribing because I host Setup Wars every single Monday, sometimes Tuesday and Wednesday if I can't make it. But there's always a Setup Wars every single week. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you very soon in the next one.